Chapter 7, the Drakovian Heir. On the morning of Trystan's recoronation, you and Margaret watch the preparations with mounting anxiety. Trystan spins the Queen's assistant in a complex dance through the throne room. Lead with purpose, Trystan. She is your prey. You are a lion. Lions don't waltz with their prey, Mother. Prey, Your Grace? What else is a dance but a display of power? If you want me to remember the same sequences I spent 8 years studiously forgetting, you'll need better metaphors. You are impossible as always. Then crown one of your other children. A vein at the Queen's temple pulses across the room. You lean down to stroke Alice's neck as Margaret sighs. Margaret, were Trystan and the Queen ever close? Her Majesty isn't close with her children, but she has favorites. Has Trystan ever been one of them? Not in my lifetime. I often think the Queen would have been happier if Lydia had been born first. So why did she reinstate Trystan? Now that you've proved him innocent, she has to. Her hands are tied. By who? The people. The Queen circles Trystan, expecting him for royal flaws as he sweeps through the dance with her assistant. Princess Gia is gracious and a powerful young woman. She'll make a very prestigious match for you. Wait a second, match? Isn't it a little too soon to be finding wives for me, Mother, considering how your last matchmaking session went? Juliana's death was 8 years ago. I'm sure you've recovered. I meant the fact that I was just on trial for her murder. And proven innocent. Trystan looses his partner in a death drop, catching her by the wrist right before her nose can touch the floor. Your Majesty, please, a recess? Fine, but not you, Trystan. As the aide scurries out of the room, Trystan taps his foot against the floor, shooting you a put-upon expression. Are you planning to run Princess Gia out of the room in the same barbaric manner? Alice stretches and slips out from beneath your fingers, padding closer to Trystan. Shoo, go away, beast. Now, I could never turn down a dance with a lady. Trystan takes Alice by the front paws, leading her into a simple shimmy. What a handsome couple you make. Remind me, Mother, is Princess Gia as beautiful as Alice? I will not have this conversation while you're doing the cha-cha with a canine. This isn't a game, Trystan. You needn't seduce the princess on the dance floor, but we cannot afford you to purposely upset her. Trystan glances past his mother and makes a face at you. You're about to offer a smile back when you notice Margaret's intense gaze. It's just occurred to me. 1. I haven't asked how you're dealing with Trystan's coronation, since you're lovers. Her expression is steady, unreadable, with a hint of smugness, daring you to contradict her. Trystan and I... How did you know? Were we that obvious? Not quite. Your loyalty to each other is easily explained by what you went through with the hand of Mahara. But I know my brother well enough to realize when he's head over heels for someone. She sighs, looking back to Trystan. He grudgingly dips another of the Queen's assistants and pulls her into a graceful twirl. Better. I'm worried about you, Chloe. You're strong, but this is going to test your relationship in ways you can't prepare for. Margaret. I'm worried about us, too. Trystan and I were in the middle of our first big fight when we found Nadja. Really? About the crown? I still don't understand why Trystan's even considering this, after everything your family's put him through. Accepting the title means serving Drakovia and contributing to the world in a way he couldn't in New York. Being here, it's as much as opportunity as it is a burden. But where does it leave me? At Trystan's side, if you're willing to fight for your place there. I'm not known for backing down. Then we start today at the coronation. What are you planning on wearing? You know, I didn't pack anything remotely fancy for enough for a royal coronation. Which is why I'm going to insist on dressing you. Come with me. Trystan gives you a pleading look as you follow Margaret towards the door. Take me with you. You give him a helpless shrug in return as Margaret leads you away. When you step into Margaret's bedroom, you feel instantly more at ease. The sunlight and colors, a breath of fresh air against the palace's shadowy corridors. Alice sniffs curiously at the chaste lounge covered in fabric swathes and jumps up, settling herself amongst them. This is the room you grew up in? That's right, everything just the way I left it when I moved to New York. Minus the occasional bolt of updated fabric I've had brought in from the city, of course. She throws an arm around an ancient mannequin wearing an exquisite black gown. Lady Featherswish might be an antique, but she's never let me down. Now undress and admire yourself while I make Lady Featherswish indecent. Wait, that's what you want me to wear tonight? On the mannequin? Do you have an objection? Here, try it on. You laugh and pull off your clothes, watching as 3 reflections of Margaret's strips of the mannequin. Margaret helps you slip into the silky black fabric. She tightens the corset at your bust, cinching the silver belt at your waist. It's better than I could have hoped for. With a knowing smile, she steps back so you can see yourself. I accept. Actually, it looks really nice. Margaret. You twist in the mirror, watching as the silken cape follows your movement. You almost look like you grew up here alongside Trystan in the castle like you belong. It's not exactly fit for a commoner. We don't want you to look like a commoner, Chloe. You and Trystan already made a clear statement to our family at dinner. Watch out, I'm stylish. We stand together, and it worked. Now you need to stake your claim in front of the entire kingdom. Even Alice can dress up. Wait, we're gonna dress the dog? Alice's ears perk up at the sound of her name. She slides off the chase and pads towards the pedestal. Don't tell me you've got a branch out into doggy gowns now. Just accessories. She kneels and ties a bejeweled bow around Alice's neck. I mean, I guess. Gorgeous. Agreed. You run the expensive fabric between your fingers. It's soft as silk, shimmering as it catches the light. Let's show Princess Gia that I was here first. Slang with fashion is always so much cleaner than the alternative. She centers you on the pedestal before the ornate mirror pinching the fabric where it's a little loose. We'll just need a few pins to make this perfect. You look around the room as she pokes and prods you, taking in the darts at your waist. So, while we're here, tell me more about the mannequin. What made you decide to be the designer? Did your parents approve of the fashion life? Let's ask about designer. She smiles fondly as she works the fabric over the mannequin's shoulders. I've been around fabulous clothes my entire life. The walls of this palace track the history of fashion in portraiture. I replicated the Queen Mary's coronation gown as for a teddy bear when I was 6 years old. He points to a love-worn bear on a shelf decked out in a Tudor-era finery. It's impressive work, especially for a 6-year-old. But your pieces are all so modern. Naturally, one cannot dream of a unique future if they don't have a keen understanding of the past. You turn, admiring the outfit, and wish Trystan was here to tell you how much he'd like to peel it out of you. Or peel you out of it. I think Trystan will approve. Alice puffs up beside you in the mirror, her matching bow glistening in the light. Margaret brushes a thread from your shoulder, looking at you with satisfaction. I've outdone myself. Nobody would dare question your presence tonight. You try to imagine Trystan sitting on his throne with you at his side, but you come up blank. Do you really think I can keep up with your insane family? You're already outpacing them, Chloe. None of them thought you'd make it past dinner. But here you stand, strong and unbothered by their inane attempts to chase you away. Maybe a little bothered. They don't have to know that. She taps the underside of your chin, causing you to raise it confidently at the mirror. You're the perfect antidote to our family, Chloe, and I think they're starting to notice. Thanks, Margaret. That means a lot. Margaret steps off the pedestal and checks the time. Dashing. But are you sure you'll be comfortable for 2 hours? The coronation lasts that long? Oh yes, Chloe. And it'll feel so much longer. When you arrive, Trystan stands just outside the entrance of the old Drakovian cathedral, stiffly but steadily greeting each of the guests. I like it. Thank you for coming, my lady. The sun always shines more brightly when we have guests from Portovera. And what about guests from the United States? Trystan breaks into a smile at the sight of you. He takes your hand in both of his. That's when I shine more brightly. There's a hungry glint in his eyes as he takes in the cut of your black daring gown. Especially when they swear fealty to me by way of a sexy outfit. Tell me, does the underwear match the royal seal? That's information that's classified. Coronated hairs only. A fine incentive for me to stay awake during the ceremony, then. Your Highness, we're ready to begin. The Queen's assistant double takes as she notices you, falling into a deep curtsy. Once you're finished with, forgive me, your grace, is it? That's right, Duchess Chloe of LeBronx at your service. It's an honor, Duchess Chloe. Will just be a moment. Stall my mother and the priest for 5 minutes, will you? The assistant gives a determined nod. Trystan draws you into a private vestibule as soon as she turns her back. Alice, stand guard. Tristan's hands grip your hips, and the second you're out of sight of the congregation, pinning you against the wall. I've been dying to do this all morning. Relief surges through you as his lips find yours. You pull him closer, returning his kiss urgently, knowing you only have a moment. But in the end, it's you who reluctantly breaks the kiss. Trystan. Oh, I wish we had more time. He smiles, letting his forehead rest against yours. Even if I know you're just stalling. There's a difference between stalling and savoring. I wanted to savor this moment with you. There will be plenty more moments for us to make the most of. This one's all about you. You smooth the fringe of silver capping his shoulders, letting your hands linger there for as long as you dare. I just wanted to see you before everything changes. Neither of you say it, but are just words from earlier still in your mind. Before you piss off all of your royal siblings and reclaim your title? Yes, small potatoes, as your New Yorkers say. Just remember, I'm proud of you. Then I've already impressed one of the few people in the audience I care about. Good luck with the rest. You deserve to be there. And I need luck when I have you by my side. Trystan captures your hand, brushing his lips against your knuckles before stepping away. I'll see you after the ceremony. You let your head rest against the cool stone of the vestibule wall, counting to 30 before you follow Trystan out into the packed cathedral. The cathedral is nearly full, the pews packed with guests and dignitaries you've seen arriving in the palace over the past few days. Chloe, over here! You and Alice follow the sound of Ruby's voice to a seat up in one of the galleries. Alice quickly makes herself comfortable against the wall. They really gave us the peasant seats, huh? You should ask them to bump us up to the front. I bet nobody would even question it with you dressed like that. I've already been mistaken for a grace today. Could be done. But then we lose the awesome vantage point spot. Look, you can see the whole royal family from up here. points to Trystan's family sitting in the royal box. Only the king, queen, and Vasily are absent. I doubt Nadja's killer is stupid enough to try anything in front of all these people, but it would be a good opportunity to watch each of them. Man, you can do it without having to listen to them talk. The congregation falls silent as a small orchestra begins to play the Drakovian national anthem. You stand with everyone else in the cathedral as the ornate-dressed priest makes his way up the aisle, followed by Queen Victoria and King Maxim. Trystan takes his place beside the Queen, wearing the same professional, unreadable expression. You never know he was the same guy who trailed Chloe to the office and just, refused to leave. He does look different. The priest raises his hands. You look forward towards the end of the glittering hallway. Today, we welcome home a prince of Drakovia. Once exiled, now proven innocent, he shall be whetstone that keeps the blade of Drakovia sharp. Anyone else getting the feeling that Trystan isn't coming home with us? Ruby, you're only now just getting that? Agency lost Trystan the second his sister dragged him out of his apartment. Agency did, but we don't have to. He's still a friend, even if he's a monarchist scum. You turn your focus back to the ceremony, trying to ignore the pang in your heart at Luke's words. King Maxim's 65th birthday. The day he is required by Drakovian law to relinquish his throne to his heir is fast approaching. There's a murmur of surprise and sadness throughout the congregation, but nothing on the face of Trystan's siblings. No wonder some of the siblings want Trystan exiled. It's a pretty serious motive. But Lady has an alibi. She's the only one who directly benefits from Trystan being pushed back out of the line of succession. Yeah, unless something happens to her, and then who's in line next? Probably Vasily. That just means she didn't strike the blows, not that she wasn't involved somehow. Or if someone was acting in support of her without her knowledge. It happens. We must celebrate the wisdom of King Alexander, who decreed that Drakovia would never be weakened by a monarch past their prime. Oh, 65's the prime, is it? You tear your eyes from Trystan's calm, focused demeanor as Vasily steps out of the royal box, bearing a glittering crown on a velvet cushion. And so, as the sun sets on the rule of King Maxim and Queen Victoria, it will soon dawn on the reign of the most worthy firstborn, Trystan Nikolai Zabolutnikov Thorn. That name is quite a mouthful. With a grand flourish, Vasily steps forward, places the crown gently on Trystan's head. Crown Prince of Drakovia. Only one member in the royal box really seems to be paying special attention to the ceremony. Hail! Crown Prince Trystan, future King of Drakovia. Hail! Crown Prince Trystan, future King of Drakovia! The Queen repeats the call, and the congregation responds again and again. Trystan's expression wavers, a flash of emotion only you see, let alone read. Fear. After the ceremony, you return to the palace without Trystan, milling among the other guests during a cocktail hour with Luke and Ruby. Foreign royals, local nobility gather in elite clusters, eyeing each other over the champagne towers and overflowing buffet tables. I'm exhausted just looking at this. I thought after the ceremony Trystan might have some time for us, but... Luke leans away from the table to pluck a few flutes of champagne from a passing waiter. He passes them across the small table. Thank you. Hopefully this one's unpoisoned. You pointedly sniff your glass before taking a sip, making Luke crack a smile. You take a salmon puff from the tray and slip it to Alice. Her tail swings as she swallows it whole. I've been told Prince Trystan has to make some sort of grand entrance. How else will everyone know that the man with the shiny new blood diamond crown is important? We don't know they're blood diamonds. You think the country that turned poisoning into fun first date activity gets their royal jewels ethnically sourced? Who gives a shit? Ruby waves him off, looking out of the room with a romantic sigh. This is the glitziest room I've ever been in, and the guest list. We must be the only people here who don't have an official title. You follow her gaze to other guests. Every single one of them has their wealth and pedigree on display. How often do a computer nerd, a forensic analyst, and a private detective end up in a palace ballroom? Computer nerd? Never were it. So, let's ditch the class commentary for one night and enjoy it. She shoots a pointed look at Luke. He laughs and pulls her close. Alright. For one night only. Movement at the corner of your eye catches your attention. A figure in scarlet stalks towards you. You turn. Oh no. It's Olivia. Chloe, darling, I thought I heard your American drawl, but I didn't dare get my hopes up. And are met by Olivia Navrakis' outstretched arms. Her overly saccharine voice makes the hair on your neck rise. Olivia, why are you talking like that? Duchess, Olivia? What? Olivia grips you by your elbows and pulls you close, whispering urgently as she plants a kiss on both of your cheeks. Smile, sweet little detective. There are things you need to know, and we may be being watched. You force a smile and step away from Olivia, mind whirring. It's a pleasure to see you again, Your Grace. I had no idea you'd be here. King Liam had to send his apologies for missing the re-coronation. I offered to carry them. Drakovia's always so nice this time of year. That biting sea air really brings out the sibling resentment. You're about to respond when a light on the ballroom dims. A spotlight illuminates a door at the top of the grand staircase. What's happening? This would be his entrance. Drakovian pageantry. Presenting Her Majesty, Queen Victoria, His Majesty, King Maxim, and His Highness, Crown Prince Trystan. The door swings open, Queen Victoria, which, their name, they keep changing how they spell Victoria. I've noticed it's spelled two different ways so far, just in this chapter alone. And King Maxim enter solemnly, and stand like statues at the head of the stairs. Trystan follows, coming to stand between them. As one, they incline their heads to their guests. I've always admired Drakovia's bloodlust, but I do without all the obnoxious theatricality. A gorgeous woman in an elegant red dress highlighted with gold trim and jewelry steps forward as Trystan descends the stairs. Who's that? She's stunning. That would probably be Princess Gia's. I'm guessing that's Princess Gia. She's the Queen's ideal match for Trystan. She's marrying him off already. Royal engagements are rarely romantic affairs. Trystan is economically sound and respected, and Gia's reputation is pristine. Pairing Trystan with her will assuage any of his remaining doubters. And Tristan's doubters? There's always a loophole, or a better candidate. The spotlight follows Trystan and Gia's graceful steps across the floor. You shift on your feet as the song drags on. Maybe picking Olivia's brain can help get my mind off this. You lean close to Olivia, careful not to move your lips as you whisper. What do you know? Nadja and Juliana's deaths are connected, but not through Trystan. They're actually connected through the act of Heir equity. The proposal to legitimize all of the royal children. Didn't the bill die with Juliana? Did it? You remember Tristan's last words to Nadja outside the courtroom where anyone could have overheard him. I want to bring Juliana's plans for the monarchy back to the courts, and we'll need the best legal mind on our side. You have evidence, or are you speculating? Cordonia has intelligence we'd be willing to share with you. if you'll keep me equally abreast of your investigation. Victoria, again they spelled it another way, might not be my queen, but she's footing the bill for this investigation. I'm not going to do her dirty by cluing in the foreign operative. Please, Chloe, Drakovian justice is about the ends of justifying the means. The queen would respect you immensely. Especially if it could help take out Nadja's killer. What kind of intelligence are you offering? Intel on Nadja, Juliana, Sebastian's political passion project. More than anyone left alive can share with you. Fine. I show you mine and you show me yours. Excellent, follow me. Olivia leads you into an empty royal garden. Alice rolls in the grass as you and Olivia begin to stroll along the rectangular stone path. We're free to speak here. I swept the area for recording devices earlier. But the royal guard can still see us. I'm a power-hungry, unmarried duchess, and you're a famous American detective with an ensemble to rival the prince himself. There are several conclusions they could draw that don't involve espionage. So they don't know about what you do? Drakovian intelligence is good, Cordonian intelligence is better. Point taken. What's your intel? I've already sent you an invitation to a secure channel. Simulations for you to check your phone. You do, following the notification to a file download. Okay, here we go. Alright, Drakovian Act for Heir Equity. Spearhead Countess Juliana Grogresco, committee members Nadja and Sebastian Thorne. Stated purpose to legitimize any child parented by one Drakovian ruler. Intended outcome, Duchess Eveline's children join the line of succession. Vasily, 2nd. Sebastian, 5th. Margaret, 9th. Progress. Tabled before it could be brought before the Parliament. Notes. Obviously a passion project for all three committee leads. Personal stakes are clear for Prince Sebastian. Miss Zorik and Countess Grogrescu seem more ideologically motivated. Momentum stalled before legislation brought to Parliament and fighting rumored. Legislation tabled due to dissolution of committee, permanently shelved after the death of the Countess. Yeah, but that would still put Vasily ahead of Sebastian. And Margaret would be 9th. This is all of it? All we have on file. But I was close to both Juliana and Nadja, so I know a few finer details. You and Olivia continue to stroll about the gardens, keeping your faces open and jovial. Tell me. They tabled this before her death? Correct, a few months before. And whose idea was that? Sebastian's. It was only meant to be temporarily. He thought some time apart would be good for them. But he was the most invested in passing the legislation. Why didn't he continue without either of them? He couldn't. He might be a low prince, but Sebastian has never been as popular with the people as Vasily. That's because he's not a cool head, he's very, angry. He needed Juliana on board to keep the public momentum, and he needed Nadja to draft the legislation itself. Why didn't Vasily join the committee? Vasily and Trystan were closer at the time. Perhaps he didn't want to start an altercation by picking sides. The legislation would have made Vasily a candidate, second in line to the throne. Okay, so finding a replacement for Juliana wasn't likely. Why not replace Nadja? Nadja understands the law they needed to amend better than any scholar. Sebastian wasn't letting her go. Oh, we can pick all these. Why did Juliana care so much about this? She and Sebastian were close as children. The way Bass, Vasily, and Margaret were treated by the rest of the Thorns always galled her. When she was old enough, and once she met Nadja, Juliana turned her attention to charity and the act. Why would Nadja care about the royal line of succession? She wasn't nobility. It would have made her career. Nadja would have been on the radar of every major political activist in the world at 23. But then the legislation fell through. And Nadja remained in Drakovia working on grassroots causes. all because she fell out with her former allies. Tell me, what did they fight about? Trystan, of course. Or at least that's what she started it with. Because Sebastian hates him? He didn't love the idea of Juliana marrying him, but no, the committee began as a revolutionary statement against the establishment. And as far as Nadja was concerned, Juliana had betrayed the very cause they had set out to champion when she accepted Trystan's hand. Did Sebastian agree? It's unclear, but his dislike of her suitor is well documented. They were also fighting over some personal differences. Sebastian and Juliana had differences? Sebastian wasn't above blackmail or playing dirty with politics. Juliana, however, was constantly trying to reform him. She eventually realized it was hopeless. What did Nadja think of Sebastian's methods? She was against doing anything illegal, but she agreed that they needed to be more ruthless in their approach. That sounds incredibly messy. Hence the unhappy ending. You come to the end of the garden loop, the wheels turning in your mind as you had everything together. So, what you're telling me is that the act was stalled long before Juliana was killed. Yes, Sebastian hated Trystan. Nadja felt betrayed. And Juliana was stubborn. She wouldn't give up Trystan or her voice in the Act's legislation. So Juliana was in the way. That seems like a decent enough motive for someone to kill her. I doubt Nadja would have gone to those lengths. After all, she stopped because she hated the idea of crossing a line. Why did she have a problem with the marriage? She no longer trusted her friend? Olivia sighed, snapping a branch from a nearby bush. You have to understand, little detective, the royal children are a very heated topic. Juliana wanted children, and she was ambitious. In the case of an arrangement with, like, the kings, Nadja feared it would be too easy for Juliana to go back on her ethics. She would have every reason to prioritize her children over any Trystan might have had with someone else. Isn't that what they wanted? All the royal children to be legitimate? Nadja wanted them to be viewed as equal. She didn't trust Juliana to bear hairs and remain impartial. So, when Sebastian suggested they take a break, she didn't speak to Juliana again. I think she always regretted the way they left things. Wait, did Nadja tell you this herself? Nadja didn't enjoy talking about her feelings. It's something we've always had in common. Did she talk to you about Juliana at all? Often. She refused to believe that Juliana's death was an accident. She had so many theories. Assassins sent by the Queen, pirates. She didn't blame Trystan. Not until Juliana's mother brought her that doctored tape. By then, she'd been simmering on her own guilt so long that she would have believed anything. And now they're both gone. Olivia's eyes mist over. She averts her face firmly, staring up into the starry night sky. But when I found out who sliced open Nadja's throat, I'll avenge at least one of them. Olivia. I mean, how did you know her cause of death? She's Olivia, not Brackus, let's be honest. Olivia dabs carefully at her eyes with a red silk handkerchief. She was a kindred spirit, something I've too rarely found in my life. And I'm doubly sad for your loss. A loss is careless, Chloe. A loss is an accident. Nadja was taken. I will tell you this. She couldn't have been killed by just anyone. She was a skilled fighter. She was always on her guard. If anyone she didn't know well had tried to attack her, she would have been ready. She would have survived, or taken her killer with her. So you're saying she wasn't on her guard. She suddenly hear a rustle behind the bushes, and a trample of footsteps approaching. A blade appears in each of Olivia's hands, both poised, ready to strike. That's so interesting. Come, tell me more about it in this cozy little hedge maze. Olivia rolls her eyes as Astrid and a young, noble woman make their way into a far side of the garden. I believe our position has been compromised. We should return. She loops her arm through yours and guides you back to the ballroom. Through the lit windows, you can see Trystan dancing with yet another crowned princess. He looks so happy. The crowd becomes thicker as you approach the patio, and Olivia lowers her voice. She trusted her killer, Chloe, and he turned it into a weapon that killed her. And the question is, how many of the royal children was she close with? She knew all of the Thorns, of course. She was very close to Sebastian before the act for the Heir equity fell apart. And Sebastian's made no attempt to hide how much he hates Trystan. Killers rarely wear their hatred on their sleeves. Be wary of these answers, little detective. Whoever murdered her may have wanted the act for Heir equity crushed for good, and to keep Trystan out of the line of succession. Who would that benefit? Perhaps you haven't been approaching your suspects with enough care. I can tell you more about them, but we'll have to make it quick. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest. Astrid? No. Lydia? No. The twins? No. I'm between Patrick and Vasily. I'll go with Vasily. Vasily would have been second in line to the throne after Trystan if the act for Heir equity had been passed. But without it, he has no reason to frame Trystan for wanting to bring it back, and even less motive to kill her. Vasily and Lydia are close. Would he have done it for her? If you're asking my opinion, which I believe you are, they're not close enough to murder for each other. Alright, let's go with Patrick. The moment the top of the stairs catches your eye, Patrick dances lewdly in the shadows behind his parents, his phone capturing the prank. Could we be looking at this from the wrong angle? What if it was... this was all a prank that went wrong? Chloe, please. Patrick tried to poison me. Patrick is certainly enough of an idiot to get someone killed. But he'd also share the homicide with a live audience in the process. He's not your killer. But one of the others is. Okay, fine. Take me to the twins. It's well known Casper and Amika would do anything, even kill, to protect each other. But they're at the bottom of the succession ladder. How would they benefit from any of this? Olivia looks ponderous at the twins. They stand on the other side of the ballroom, drinking matching cocktails. Unclear. Well, that was cryptic as always. I know Astrid ain't it, but let's just go. Lydia is the most obvious answer, but it's out of character for her. She'd need a damn good reason to want to go against her mother's wishes, even if she personally disagrees with them. Okay. Astrid is brighter than she appears, and a master manipulator. You're wise to count her in. I knew she was hiding something. It's always the airheads, isn't it? But as long as I've known her, she's been decently clean. And I meant that both ways. She doesn't like getting her hands dirty. And every death she's been connected to can't truly be traced back to her. Could she have asked someone for help? It's possible. She has a few connections with the local mafia. Remember, where power is based on heritage and birth order, assassination will always follow. Focus on your suspects. Who is avoiding your questions? Who is trying to distract you, to charm you? Applause breaks from indoors as yet another dance comes to an end. Olivia effortlessly turns you back to the ballroom. I've told you all I can for now. Thank you for your candor. Thank you for investigating her murder. I'll be in touch, little detective. By the time you open your mouth to reply, she's already gone. Hours pass by as you, Luke, and Ruby attempt to navigate the remainder of the ball. Your feet begin to ache and your eyelids begin to droop. When at last you feel a warm, familiar touch at your shoulder. Found you. I tried to make my way over to you 1,000 times tonight. Is that a ballpark figure? No. It was 1,000 times precisely, I counted. Trystan grabs a handful of canopies off a passing tray, wolfing down a crab cake with a sigh. Oh my god, that's good. I haven't had a thing to eat since Mother had me stuffed into this uniform. Trystan, at least we're together now. You have no idea what a relief it is to be beside you, Chloe. If I have to speak to one more diplomat about the price of oil... Or baby. I've missed you so much that I'm choosing to ignore the sarcasm in your voice. I missed you too. But you could have mentioned your dad was abdicating. Just as a heads up to your partner. Trystan registers the hurt in your tone. His shoulders slump, his practiced charm gives way to exhaustion. I didn't want you to panic over something that means very little. Very little? How old is your dad now? You can't expect me to blaspheme my father around several hundred witnesses. Trystan. Chloe, please, this can't be the conversation you want to have right now. Not when there are so many others we could communicate. And when I have grand plans for an escape. How grand of an escape are we talking? You'll have to dance with me to find out. Trystan gathers you into his arms, pulling you onto the dance floor. You spin through the royal guests, emissaries, and the elites of Drakovia. And Trystan only has eyes for you. He guides you through the waltz with ease, his expression warm in the lamplight. Don't hate me, but I think your mother's dancing lessons might have actually paid off. Truly, tell me, does it feel like you're the lion or the prey in this scenario? That's easy. Lions don't waltz with their prey, right? Very true. We'll just have to make our own metaphor instead. You hardly realize you've crossed the entire dance floor, Trystan leading you seamlessly through the chaos. Trystan, welcome back. Vasily glances up from his wine as Trystan spins you to a dramatic stop before him. My dear brother, nay, my favorite brother. Where have I heard that before? Whispered from the lips of truth herself. Vasily gives Trystan a tolerant smile and glances over at you. Hello, Chloe. Rather spectacular ensemble tonight. Another one of my baby sister's creations. She keeps me fashionable. Enjoying the coronation. It's been an education. Didn't Vasily do a wonderful job of putting the crown on my head? The true star of the show, if you ask me. Vasily's smile falters as he recognizes Trystan's meaning. What do you need, Trystan? What an accusation. I was simply thinking of all the wonderful times you used to cover for me back in the day. When I say I needed 15 minutes to disappear from Mother's lovingly judgmental gaze. Vividly. Do you think... Oh, go, Trystan. If anyone asks, I'll say you ate some crab that didn't agree with you, but be back before the speeches start up again. I owe you, Vasily. So I've heard. You can hardly keep up as Trystan sweeps you off the dance floor and down a narrow corridor. Chloe. As soon as the door closes behind you, Trystan has you up against the wall. His mouth falls upon yours, quick and rough and urgent. Trystan, wait. You pull back, trying to catch your breath as Trystan's lips travel along your jaw, sending sparks over your skin. What if someone saw us come in here? Who cares? I need you. I've needed you all night. You rub the black fabric of his uniform between your fingers, considering. Do you really think we'll be undisturbed? I wouldn't dream of letting anyone disturb us now. Please, Chloe, let me show you what I've been thinking of tonight. Every detail. How exactly are you planning to show me? Namely, body language. Trystan kisses you passionately, his hand sliding down your back, pulling you tight against him with a surprising intensity. Is this the ruthless Drakovian coming out in you? I'll be as ruthless as you need me to be, as long as you like it. Fire in his touch sparks an equal heat inside you. You lower your hand and take hold of his shoulders in a fierce grip. Maybe I do. Maybe I think it's kind of sexy. Good. Trystan grabs you by the waist, his touch hot over your clothing. You arch your back as he kisses down your throat. Now, if I were to detail my very dirty thoughts throughout this evening, you should know I was much less formally dressed. Well, then we're gonna need to do something about these clothes. Be quick, I can't wait much longer. Really? Can't wait at all? Not even for a little tease? Really? Just slip your hands right in there. You slide your hands between the buttons along his chest, feeling the hard planes of his abs tensing beneath your palms. Your hands do work a special kind of magic. You trace small circles over his chest with your fingernails, feeling him shiver beneath your touch. No magic, just our natural chemistry. It's highly flammable, our chemistry, I mean. These clothes are actually designed to be fireproof. Trystan holds your gaze with his own, his mouth slightly parted as your hands continue to explore his body. You relish in the way his hands clutch at your shoulders, a sharp intake of breath. Chloe, yes. You've been on my mind all night too, you know. Is that right? And what was it you imagined? I was reminding you who you belong to. The people can have you for a little while, sure, but where are you now? Who do you come home to? Who's going to peel you out of these clothes, button by painstaking button? I assume you will, lover. But just the essentials, I'm impatient. Push Trystan onto an antique velvet divan and begin to tear at his clothing. Just the essentials, my ass. I'm gonna need to undo all these buttons before I can do what I want with you. I knew you only wanted me for my body. You undo the clasps of his outfit, revealing his broad, muscular chest. You rake down his front with your nails. I was quick. I've been itching to get out of that all day. I've been imagining you out of it all day. Your words spur him on, and he groans, seizing you with a desperate hunger. His deft hands race up your legs underneath the smooth black skirt of your dress, his palms hot on the skin of your thighs. Black, I accept, but we got out of our outfit in record time as well. Trystan presses you against the wall, his free hand stripping the rest of your garments off your body, adoring the newly exposed skin with the other. There you are. I kind of prefer the outfit on. You'll have to wait just a little longer. I'm not letting you back into it just yet. Trystan pins you with his weight, his fingertips dancing down your bare stomach. His nose just barely skims your jaw as he whispers, "Tell me exactly what you want." This'll be where we have to pause, because it's YouTube, and be right back. Here, let me get your clothes back in order. We don't have long. Trystan adjusts your clothes, smoothing your garments down around your body before slipping into his own clothes once more. I'm glad that we got some alone time together. Yes, thank God. But I wonder if... we'll be able to be out in the open someday. Trystan looks away, and melancholy shadow passes over his face. I hope that too. You don't sound too confident about it. Chloe, it's not like that at all. It was torture to be taken away from you. I have every intention of being by your side for the rest of the evening. Good. Hours later, after the guests have finally gone, you and Trystan steal back towards his bedroom. I'm gonna have so many blisters from standing around all night. At least you didn't get your toes stepped on by a baron. But as you close in on the corner leading to Trystan's wing, you hear a hushed voice echoing through the hall. Are you insane? Stop yelling at me. I did what I had to. You and Trystan exchange a startled look as the voices grow near. He pulls you into an alcove behind one of the pillars. You had to steal evidence for a crime scene? Really? Wasn't stealing, Amiga. Not really. Oh, you sticky-fingered idiot. How am I going to protect you this time? And that's the end of that. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description of the video, plenty of ways to support the channel, things to check out, and the whole 9 yards. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm always more than willing and able to converse with you via comments or whatever method you choose, but I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. You know, who are you suspecting, in all honesty? It's kind of like a back and forth and all around, and it's weird, and, you know, for all you know, by the end of this, it was the queen all along. Or the king, who knows? You know, I'm making a joke, because I honestly, I don't know. I have a few suspects in mind, but I want to see what you have to say. So again, leave a comment down below. Let me know who you suspect. But without further ado, love your beautiful faces. Catch you all in the next chapter. Peace out.